Hello, and welcome to the Energy Conclave, focusing on energetic shielding. What is energetic shielding? Well, let's go through an embodied experience first. Like, have you ever walked into a room or sat down at a table, started having a conversation with somebody, or being around a group of people and started to slowly feel like different than how you did when you walked in? Like your mood dropped, you feel a little uncomfortable, you start to get tired, and you're just like, wow, this is strange. Like I didn't feel like this before I got here. If you've ever had anything like that, more than likely you did not have a strong energetic boundary around your being. We are energetic beings, magnetic beings. And when we are not properly shielded, and there's no shame here, we tend to be like sponges, and those sponges absorb the different energies, emotions, sensations of the collective around you. And it's common. Pretty sure everyone has experienced it. But the good news is there is a way, actually several ways, for you to be in a bit stronger level of command of your own being so that you can live in a sovereign state, navigating the world, navigating conversations, whether they are happy and joyous or a bit more challenging to your system, your emotional body, etc. If you're new here, my name is Cynthia Cramblett. I have the highest honor to be in service of our membership here at the Sacred Synthesis. If you're within the school community, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're joining us on YouTube, I would like to invite you to come into our free school community. It is a place where we have even deeper teachings. It's where our community chats about working with these beautiful psychedelic compounds that we offer to our membership, which are low 5-MeO DMT, as well as cinemathoxin. And it's a beautiful place for teachings, for communion, and for support as we're moving through some of our beautiful protocols, and where we host our live ceremonies every month virtually that you can attend from anywhere. And that link will be found down below if you're watching us on YouTube. So anyway, moving into energetic shielding in a bit more detail. So I kind of gave you an example of what you may have experienced if your energetic shield was a little less than solid, right? And it's really important that we learn about these practices, one, just so we can navigate life a bit more easily and be a bit more attuned to what's happening in our own being and make sovereign choices about where we want to go, but also so that we can navigate in places, especially if you're deeply empathic and really tuned into your senses, that you can go places and you don't have to feel like you have to stay home or self-isolate and say that you're just too sensitive. There's a way for you to go and experience the textures of life and feel comfortable. And that also goes to say, like, not just in spaces of, the workplace or social events or even just in your interpersonal relationships, but also when you're moving into ceremonial containers. We work with psychedelic compounds, and we here at the Sacred Synthesis are very much cheerleaders of people having a higher level of sovereignty in their experience, whether they're working with sacraments at home or stepping into a ceremonial container when it's an energetic field that is kind of spiraled in connection between the circle of people there. And you may not want to, let anything into your field that is not of the love and the light. So with that, I want to provide some beautiful examples of ways in which you can energetically protect yourself, fortify your field, and feel as though you can shine brighter and bigger and feel safe turning your magnificent light on. That song, like This Little Light of Mine. Well, what if it wasn't a little light? What if it was a massive light? What if it was a massive, beautiful beacon, almost like a lighthouse beacon, just spiraling and expressing its beauty as you move through life? And we can use a lot more help in this time. We need a lot more people with their lights shining super bright, not hiding at home. So, first and foremost, what I find is most important before we do any of the shielding techniques is first to sense into our own beings in our own bodies. And if you haven't seen the Human Energy Vehicle Conclave that I produced about a month ago, I totally invite you to go and tune into that. It talks about the different layers of our system, from our embodied chakras, our transpersonal skills a little bit, and the different layers of emotion that we have, the different layers that we have to our auric body. And our auric body is envision like almost like you have an egg around your being. So if you can bring your arms up way overhead, from about that point is your soul star, and then all the way down to where your feet are. You can just imagine that shape as your arms kind of swoop in front of you down to your feet. That's your auric field. And there's different layers to that. And you can tune in to the Human Energy Vehicle Conclave and learn a bit more about those teachings and what's in each of those layers. But if we can get quiet into a meditative state, just a little bit more softness and quietness, and, inviting the mind to soften, inviting the mind to just be in observation, not in running the show, and just invite it to kind of like melt away from its like powerful control panels, and just soften. You might actually like feel this softening happening. Then inviting the heart to lead, inviting it to open up and to lead, and to be in this like magnificent state of guiding you, and allow your protectors to like stand down. You can then start to sense into your field. You can sense into your body, like what's happening. Do I have a pain somewhere? Do I have certain emotions or thoughts that keep coming up? What's here? And you can ask each of these different sensations, thought forms, emotions, etc., is this mine? And when we're in that meditative state, we can typically hear like, nope, not mine. Or who does it belong to? Where did it come from? And what you're doing here is you're starting to tune into your ability to discern what is innate to you and what is from someone outside of you. Maybe someone from a long time ago had said some things to you, and it's permeating in your being and like incessantly impacting you. Or it might be something from the collective. Right now, at the time of this recording, there's a lot happening in the collective. And if you're deeply empathetic, even if you're not watching the news, you are picking up on those frequencies. Think about like radio waves coming through, and we are antennas. You're picking up some of that information. So once you tune in and get this information, like, is this mine? Is it not? You can then command anything that is not of the love and the light, not of the highest and the best form, not of your soul's original blueprint, to exit your field, exit your auric container, your energetic being. And I like to be pretty assertive when I make this statement. And it's typically a practice that I like to do in the mornings and at night before going to bed. And this in the mornings helps remove anything that was sticky that happened in the night when I was in a sleep state. And then at the end of the day, it prepares me for the night and kind of gets rid of things that happen during the day. So I just command anything that's not meant for me, anything that's not of the love and the light, the highest, the best, command you out of my field, back to source, back to the highest, back to the best, back to the love, or back to where you came from. And if you have something that's a little incessant and won't kind of go away, you can, create like an energy ball and place it in that energy ball, and then hold it, push it outside of your energetic field. And then just envision like pushing it further and further away, like energetically, like blowing wind until it's so far away. Imagine it's going out into space and so far into the galaxy and beyond that you no longer see it. It's like completely out of your field anymore. Then once everything's kind of out of your field, and you might feel almost like a vacuumy or magnetic sensation of things being pulled out of your field, you can then command all of the aspects of you, all pieces that were left behind in conversations, photographs, if you are online or giving presentations or sending emails, any type of like energetic footprints of yours that have been left behind, you can call them back into your heart center. Call them right back to you from this dimension, other dimensions if you believe in those things, other timelines, and just organically like pull them all back into you. And again, you might feel this like magnetic sensation coming into your heart center when you command yourself back. And what that does is it helps re-magnetize these parts of you that were fragmented and left behind so that you can be back into a whole state and even more powerful and embodied and in the present now moment. Something that's very important to know is typically when we are in the now present moment, like very now, we're not projecting ourselves into the future or, living in the past. We are much more powerful and embodied and protected in our field. And doing these practices really helps bring us back to the now. And so once you've done those practices, you feel like, okay, I've released these things from me. I've called back myself, all these aspects of myself. You might feel ready to then start to like create your bubble and put some protective layers on. Or you might feel like, I need a little bit more grounding. And with that, you can literally be outside, put your feet on the ground, or you can envision and sense into your feet like growing roots, or from the base of your tailbone, like a root growing in, into your inside, like through the floor out into the topsoil, right? And then moving all the way through the strata to the core of Mother Earth, and feel that magnetic pulse and the Schumann resonance that she is generating for you. And that will help you feel a bit more grounded, a bit more tethered in the human experience. Many times us spiritual folk like to be up in the clouds and floaty, but we did choose to come to earth and incarnate in these bodies. So if you're not embodied, you're missing a huge portion of the experience. And many times we disassociate in our human form when we are having uncomfortable conversations, or we're just taking on so much energy of other people and we're just overwhelmed. So grounding down will really help strengthen our ability to be present and in the moment. And the next practice that I like to do is just open up the crown chakra, just right here above the head, opening it up and envisioning this beautiful crystalline, like whitish light. So a white light that has, if you want to do this with me, you can. Glittery light, it's like iridescent white light just coming in, pouring in through the top of my head, and then filling up from the bottom of my feet, the bottom of my auric field, all the way up the entire layers of the body, all the tissues, cellular structures, all the spaces in between, and just envisioning it like further purifying and clearing and creating this like nutritious light egg all throughout my field, all the way back up to the crown chakra, moving beyond that to the soul star. And once that feels complete, I love to welcome in any color that feels nutritious to me. So right now I'm feeling into the sensation of a turquoisey blue. Imagining that come in and fill up the field. And sometimes you'll be intuitive guided. You'll just get a color will just appear for you. And if you don't know what the different colors mean, you can, after you're done with your practice, look up like, what does this color signify? What is my higher self? What is spirit? What is God? What is goddess? What are they trying to teach me and help me with by bringing in this color? You'll be really amazed. And then once that feels secure, practice I like to do is just sweep the arms up, overhead, rubbing the palms together to activate our sensation, our healer hands, our energetic hands, and then start to just feel your field. Tune into it, just moving your hands slowly and just sensing into your own egg, your energetic egg, and just sense like, is this entire field, is it is it sealed all the way? And you might feel like a spot where there's a sensation. If you tune into that sensation, asking, what is this? You'll probably get some guidance of like, oh, this is like I had at one point a portal in my energetic field, and it was connecting to my solar plexus. And what that was doing was allowing like powerful, you can imagine like sunlight, like charging up my solar plexus, charging up my willpower, charging up my sense of self, charging up my ability to shine brighter. But there might be parts where you're like, oh, this is a sensitive spot. What is this? And you can choose to like put an energetic patch on it and allow that patch to then like seal your field and make you feel really safe and good. And when you're first doing these practices, it might take you a little bit more time because you're just starting to learn how to tune into your energetic body, your human energy vehicle, and your field. And over time, it might become like really rapid for you. But there's no time limit. Just taking your time, feeling what feels good. If you have your hands up now, just sensing into your field, your hands. You might feel different sensations in your hands, like tingling or like a pulsing sensation, warmth, maybe some cold, or sometimes you might feel nothing at all. And you can just explore, what do these sensations mean for you? And then lastly, what I like to do is once I sense into my field, I then like to just ask for a beautiful golden light to come and pour over my egg, pour over it, and create this beautiful, shiny golden egg that is mirrored in a sense, so that when anything comes near it, it doesn't see anything that's not of the love and the light, anything that's unsavory, anything that would want to cause harm, to feed off my light source, can't penetrate that field. And it doesn't even see it, just goes the other way. You could also just envision a mirror and not have the golden color, but the golden mirror just feels really delicious to me. I also find that if you're very sensitive and sometimes you have hard time sleeping at night, you can envision, because we're very vulnerable energetically when we're sleeping. So, and just like we are physically. And so I like to envision a whole mirrored room, like, or the house that I'm in, whatever, it's just mirrored. And so clearing out the entire house, clearing out the entire space, just like we did for our auric field, but then placing mirrors up around the edifice that I am lodging in. So that might help you. Additionally, if you're even more sensitive or you're not feeling as confident in your shielding, I encourage you to call on Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is definitely here to be of support to us in these moments of sensitivity and not sure how to defend ourselves. So when we feel like we have another protector with us, this can help shroud us in a higher level of protection. Another really beautiful thing to consider is that your intention will absolutely influence your experience. So when you set clear intentions to block out any unwanted influences and to just be an observer rather than absorbent of those energies, you have a lot more power. And that's the thing to think about, is like when we are in the now present moment, when we're rooted into earth and when we're connected to divine above, we can be much more of an observer rather than someone who is in this play of participation. Unless we want to be. Sometimes it's really fun. That's what we came here to be, that and to have experiences. But if you want to be more empowered and present, it helps to have these really beautiful intentions of staying present. And ultimately, if you start to sense like, you know what, I'm no longer need to be here, I'm complete, you can then trust the experience that you've had. And grounding really helps you feel that security, leaning on archangels, or maybe if you have guides or ancestors that you communicate with, or even elemental work can be beneficial. Like I like to work a lot with fire, especially when I'm in a ceremony space, doing healings, etc. I like to have fire, and when something feels a little bit too sticky, I usher that energy not through my body, but towards the light, towards the fire. And that's what I teach the people that come into ceremony with me and that are learning from me. Like, just push things into the flame. The flame is very alchemical. Water is very purifying, etc. So just leaning into those elementals can be really beautiful. Other techniques that I've dabbled in. One is the zipper technique. So this can be really beautiful anytime, right? When you want to feel a bit more protected. And the zipper is really like clear out your field. Kushte, 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 kushte is a code that I like to work with. Kushte, 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 just like cutting off any attachments that aren't here, that aren't of the love and the light, aren't here to serve your highest and best purpose. Good of all, harm to none. Kushte, kushte, cut those off. And then you can envision a giant zipper just from the bottom of your feet. And if you want to actually play along and embody it through your physical form, just zipping up your entire field, zip, zip. And then you can go from the base of your tailbone and just zip, 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 zip. And you have a little lock. You can lock your field up so that you feel totally safe and secure. And other ways I think that are helpful to energetically shield are to consider, if you have a home or a work environment, some things to look into are like crystal gridding. This is becoming more and more known lately. Different crystals have various properties that are very beneficial to the environment of which we are in. So look into crystal gridding. You can think about if you're having a hard time getting rid of some energies, doing some breath work. I'm a practitioner and teacher of Kundalini Yoga, which is very potent and powerful for moving densities out of the field, both the physical body, the energetic body, emotional body, mental body, etc., etheric body, so that we just feel so good in our beingness. So I hope that this teaching helps you all just feel a little bit more comfortable in your experiences. I would love to receive feedback, perspective, some things that you all do to feel safe and secure in your human energy vehicle. And just a reminder, if you are joining us on YouTube, come on over to the school community. That's where all the conversations are, and it is free to join. We, of course, have upgrades for different levels of membership, but come on in to the free community and check us out. And for those who are already in school, so glad you're here. So glad you're catching this. Please chat on the wall, the education wall, what felt good about these teachings to you and what worked for you. Until next time, love you all. See you later.